Jamie, thank you for your super chat, my friend. Said evening, Craig. Lovely result today. Yeah, it was great. Great. I was a little bit nervous, 12:30 away from home, newly promoted team, but we got the job done. Clean sheet. Mohamed Salah scored, Diogo Jota scored, Lucho should have scored. So again, very good at the business end of the pitch. Defensively, I thought it was really interesting to hear Arne Slot. Do you know what? Can I just say one thing? First impressions of the new gaffer in a competitive game. I love the ruthlessness of taking Quansah off for half time. Now, Quansah is a brilliant centre back and has a great future ahead of him, but it was ruthless and I loved it. He wasn't winning his aerial duels or his battles. He only won 50% of his first half duels. That wasn't good enough for Slot because he thought that was giving Ipswich a bit of momentum. So he brought on Ibu. Ibu then ended up with a 75% duel success rate. And I just thought it was a good indication that he's just going to call things as he sees them. No favouritisms, no anything. Just perform or you're going to be benched. I like that. That's old school thinking in my mind. I also think the substitutions and the timing of those substitutions were genius. 70 minutes for players like Trent and Robbo who didn't have full pre-seasons. Then we got to give Conor Bradley, it cost us a run out. It's just win-win. Good squad management, even early in the season. Happy days. Just a good day though. You got to enjoy these days when they come along. First game of the season. New Liverpool manager gets off to winning ways. And it was lovely to see those tactical adjustments as well. In a half time, made the substitution for the centre back. Then we figured it out. And we looked like we were far superior. I don't know if it was a mixture of a tactical tweak, the introduction of Canade, and of course, maybe some fatigue from the Ipswich players as well. But as the game went on, we looked more and more likely to continue to score. And I thought it was brilliant. Could have been 3 or 4 in the end. But credit to Ipswich, you got to say well done to them. Back up in the Premier League. Looking forward to seeing how they get on this season. Nothing against the club whatsoever, but just happy to see our boys get the win. Nick said, thought we looked immense second half. Bench looked like slim pickings in midfield. No offence to the lads. Could use a few more polished senior pros to bolster the squad. A few too many unknown commodities to rely on. Yeah, look, there's a lot of leaps of faith that would have to be taken. And to give credit to Ryan Gravenberch today, I think as that game went on, his influence grew in the game. I loved his vision for some of the balls in the first half, although we were restricted in what we managed to achieve in the first half. There was a couple of nice balls over the top that Gravenberch got his head up and almost picked Salah out. I thought in the second half, again, he looked really good. But everybody knows we're on the lookout for that number 6. Gravenberch can do a job. Of course he can. He's a fine player. But is he going to be the answer? Again, I would say it might be pitched to us that he would be, but that is also the cheap option. It's always the cheap option. Van den Berg, again, also wasn't in the squad today, so you got to say what's going on with his future. Yeah, interesting times ahead. As we sit here, my friend, it is pretty much now coming in towards Sunday, the 18th of August, so 12 days left in the window. Quansah is great but young with a boy's body. Canade had better frame for aggressive Ipswich. He shouldn't take hard feelings except for full gym sessions. Very balanced, and I agree with you. Quansah's future is not in doubt whatsoever. He's a very good quality young man, but he's still growing in, and it was a very physical game today. Delap was winning a lot of aerial duels. I certainly believe that Arne Slot would have explained to Jarell Quansah what he'd like him to do better, and it will happen. So I agree with you, mate. No harm in that. Probably expect Ibu as well for the Brentford game. They're probably going to come in to be quite physical. You would imagine he'd stick with Ibrahim Canade for that one as well. Adam Brown said, Craig, I was really impressed today in the second half. Was a bit surprised Slot didn't take Lucho off for Cody. Also, why was Harvey and Nunez not used? Again, I have to just guess at some of these answers, mate, because I can't tell you why Nunez and Harvey weren't brought on. But what I can say is, he explained the half-time substitution for Quansah. One, I'm relieved that it wasn't an injury. That's good news. And the other substitutions, I think the fullback ones were very intelligent, saving their legs for the remainder of the campaign. Taking off Jota, bringing on Gakpo. I mean, At least Gakpo got involved in the game. Why didn't he take Lucho off? I don't know. We scored 2 goals and kept a clean sheet, so I'm relatively happy with how we got on today. And look, I always love to see Harvey Elliott on the pitch, you know that. I think Darwin has to prove himself to Arne Slot at the moment. Remember, he would have had virtually no pre-season with Arne compared to a lot of the other guys. So he's playing catch up. Then you've got to take into account that Diogo is, well, he's scoring, isn't he? So what I was very impressed with today with Diogo was he missed an opportunity, a sitter, let's be honest, about a minute before he scored and didn't let it get in his head. When the chance came the second time, a minute later, boom, back of the net with a great assist from Mo as well. If we use Gravenberch as a sick, we do lose out on some of his abilities on the ball driving forward. So I've no problem with Gravenberch being an option in there, but we need more, right? Because Gravenberch can't play every game. McAllister can't play every game. I'm going to be honest and say that Curtis Jones still doesn't convince me. Bajcetic may go out on loan. Bobby Clark is gone or going. I still think we're short there. He doesn't like the look of Wataru Endo. You know, I did say this to everybody weeks ago that Wataru was basically told he's not going to be forced out, but it's up to him if he wants to stay and fight for his place. But his options and opportunities, unless there's injuries, will be limited, because Arne Slot certainly doesn't look like he feels he's the style of player for the system he wants to play. And Tyler Morton, again, I don't think Tyler Morton is... If we're saying Liverpool can't find somebody on the planet other than Zubamendi, I find it very hard to believe or swallow that Tyler Morton is going to be that guy. If they truly believed Tyler Morton was going to be that guy, they wouldn't have gone looking for Zubamendi. So I don't buy into some of this. The squad was being assessed. We all were patient. The assessment's done, but still no business. And that, my friends, is worrying. Thriller X said Arne Slot is not here to play friendly. If you don't fit, you're out. And I like that. I like a bit of a ruthless streak. I think you have to have that in any walk of life at the very top level. You have to have, of course, you have to be amenable. You have to be approachable to your players and they have to buy into what you're doing. But nothing wrong with having a cold, ruthless streak as well. I certainly like those attributes in a coach. Taco the Red said, glad Slot rotated main players. I think it was brilliant. Like, I don't know if it was down to Arne Slot or if it was Ruben Peters. So I said this during the watch along today. Ruben Peters is the guy that Arne Slot puts tremendous faith and belief in when he says no more pushing players past this point. Don't train for longer than this. Don't let this guy play more minutes than this today. Arne Slot listens to him, and I think that's based off respect and, of course, the fact that they had over a 90% availability rate at Feyenoord, I think, last season, which is quite a lot. And bringing the 2 boys off at 70 minutes today might not seem too much now, but that's 20 minutes less in the legs after a very long summer for them with regards to international competitions, short turnaround, limited pre-season. So I think it was brilliant that he made those 2 changes and brought Costas and Conor Bradley on and allowed Robbo and Trent to get a rest.